Hey guys, welcome back. All right, this video is almost 2 years in the making. About 2 years ago on this channel, I did a video where I reviewed the app Notability for digital planning specifically. This isn't for like students for note taking, things like that. This is specifically for decorative digital planning. Now, a lot has changed with this app since then, and I would say, more pleasantly surprised than disappointed. There's a lot that's different, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so in preparation for this video, I did go into this app, dug around. I did some Googling, trying to figure stuff out. The first video was like a first impressions. This one, I really went in and tried to figure out how to make this work for digital planning. So I went ahead and imported just a square page from the February Extreme Planner. It's just a single page, no more. Oh, I guess it's more if you drag. Okay, so 2 pages. All right. One of the things that bothered me the most about Notability circa 2019, 2018 maybe, was the fact that when you import an image, it would only let it shrink down so far. So say you had a planner with like a Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Monday boxes, and you had like a day cover that said like Monday. It wouldn't shrink far enough to fit in the space that the planner allotted for. So you'd have this huge word trying to fit into a box that's this big. And that was a deal breaker for me. However, with all the testing that I've done, it seems that they have fixed that. So I'm going to hit this plus sign up here. We'll talk about the cloud storage in a little while because that is a con. Go to photo library and I'll just pull in this picture of Caleb and see, you can shrink it pretty much down to nothing now. And just like Goodnotes, which I'm not trying to make this video a comparison, Notability versus Goodnotes, but Goodnotes is the point of reference that I have, and I'm sure it's a point of reference that a lot of you have too. So if you hear me saying just like or unlike, that's why. But just like Goodnotes, it handles size change very well. So you would just tap and then you can adjust, and you can also rotate. Same here. And it does snap to level, which I appreciate. And then another thing that the old version of the app did that I hated was when you pulled in an image, it would automatically round the corners, which in some instances that's cute, but it's not something you want it to do for every single thing. So now they've made that optional. So I can hit that rounded corners and it'll round the corners, or I can make it square corners. I love that they changed that feature. That's fantastic. So, okay, we've got a photo of Caleb here. Now let's talk about that cloud thing, okay? You can use this plus sign to import from your photo library. You can take a photo, you can scan a document, you can import a GIF, which we'll talk about too, web clips, things like that. But you notice there's no option for files or importing from like Google Drive. Now, keep in mind, guys, I did as much research as I could. There might be a way, but I couldn't find it. So what I did was I took advantage of the iPad's split screen feature and pulled stuff in that way. So I'm just going to go to my digital planner thing here. We'll go to, I don't know. Let's do Digital Gator Designs. I think I have one of her kits in here. Yep, perfect. So then I would just take Notability, drag it over here, like so, just making sure my screen's working over there. And then you can touch an image, drag it over, and it will insert it. So, and then you can also kind of slide it like this so that you have more real estate on the planner side. And then you can still adjust and so forth and so on. So there is a workaround if you're doing this on an iPad. Not sure. I don't even think this app is available on Android, to be honest. I think this is an Apple specific. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. But yeah, so there is a workaround. You would think it would be native in app. I was surprised that it wasn't. But again, if there is a workaround, okay, you can deal, One thing that this app surprised me with. And I'm just going to pull in a couple of more images just so we have more to work with. I'm not doing anything really particular, just grabbing some random boxes and things. And then we'll do this guy. Okay, so then I'm just going to swipe that away. So now we have a few stickers to work with here. Okay, so one of the things that this does that I was like, oh, heck yes. Check this out. If I tap this witch, drag her over here. See how it's on top of the photo of Caleb? Watch. I'm going to tap the photo of Caleb. And now it's automatically brought to the front. So y'all know, here I go again, in Goodnotes, you can't do that. So and if I tap the witch, she's going to come to the front. So that aspect, however elementary it is, I mean, it's not very intuitive as far as like dealing with multiple images and multiple layers, because you can't pick an image and say send to front or send to back. If you tap it, it's going to the front. In theory, this is like oh hell yes, layering, whoop whoop. In practice, it's not that great, because anytime you want to move something, okay, if I wanted to take this photo of Caleb and move it, maybe shrink it down a little bit, it's going to be in the front. I would have to tap her, move her where I want her, and that's how it would go. You can't just hit an image and move. You have to tap it to select it, and tapping it automatically moves it to front. Now you're thinking, that's not too big of a deal, Genna. I mean, you can pick which one you want to be the front one. You can, but watch this. If I go to text, okay, and I'm going to type something. Notability test. Oops, space girl. Notability test, okay? And same thing, you can rotate, which is fantastic. You can adjust the size of the text box if you don't need that much space. But watch, if I put this, oh, I probably should make this white. Hold, please. Oops. Is there a select all here, honey? There we go. Okay, so if I want to make this white, because I want to put it on top of that other text box like this. Okay, so you can move it. In Goodnotes, if you select something and resize, the text will resize. This doesn't do that. It just moves the size of the text box. Kind of a poo. But if you hit style, you can make it bigger, smaller, however you want to do it. But watch. So I say, okay, cool. I like this here. But if I tap, I still have the text tool selected. If I tap this washi strip, the text goes behind it. So in order to make the text front, I have to tap the washi strip, move it out of the way, tap the text box, put it back on top. So intuitively, my next thought is, okay, we'll just select the group, right? With the lasso tool. Looks fine. Your only option is to copy. You cannot move them, which is like, how? How can you not move them? That right there was a copy. See, I just long pressed and moved, and it only copied that piece. I'm going to undo because I don't need that. So you can't, like, say you have a checkbox, right? And you put in like 4 or 5 tasks that you want to complete. And then you're like, oh, I want to move this over here. You have to painstakingly move the text box first. Hope there's no image beneath it or above it. Then move each line of text individually. So it's not as user-friendly in that aspect. See, like I mentioned, you think, yeah, moving, layering, but it just doesn't work like you would expect it to work. And that's so, I mean, it's like coming up to the plate and you strike, because you're like, yes, it's going to do it. Why did it do it that way? And not being able to move multiple items at a time is really, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You would think lasso tool, what's here? Now, another way that the lasso tool sucks it is, watch. I'm going to, again, just go ahead with these two here. Say I have like a gym, okay? You have a sticker with the word gym, or even just the word gym. You want to do a workout each day. Okay, so you want to copy that so that you can paste it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? I hit copy. Everything looks great. Long press, same as the other. Paste. First of all, it only selected what my stylus, my lasso selected, which isn't too bad. It's kind of frustrating, but it's not too bad. But look, it also selects the background. You can see the lines from the background. So Notability doesn't differentiate between what's an imported PNG versus the underlying PDF. So you can't even copy a sticker and paste it in another spot on the, on the PDF. So that's another one where I'm like, I can't even say I get what they were going for, because that's not really copying what you made. It's like, why would you ever, in what circumstance would you need to copy the background of your PDF? I don't get that. Again, this entire review was limited to what I was able to find doing a Google search, but I'm an average consumer, right? I'm not like some, oh, I'm an expert on Notability. I'm the average customer. I am their target market for this. And if I can't figure it out as somebody who was specifically looking for it, like I visited Google, I visited Reddit, I visited the Notability forums, and I could not find it. So, and then I even contacted some of my friends in the planner community, and they're like, yeah, no, it's not even an option. I don't get it. So if the option's there, it's well hidden, and that's a big con for me. So let's balance this out with a pro, okay? I loved this in my first impression of Notability. I love it in this one, is that you can go here to your plus sign, select a GIF, and you can add a GIF. Now, I'm filming this on Valentine's Day, but by the time it comes out, it's not going to be Valentine's Day anymore. So let's just type the word March. And we'll pick, well, that's very literal, isn't it? Here. Oh, hi, March. I don't understand this reference, but that's okay. So you can have a GIF sitting on your planner, which is so stinking cute. I mean, this is very like, it's not a functional thing, and I imagine it adds a lot to file size, but it's just so unique to this app and so cute. Like, oh gosh, I would love to be able to do this in my planner. And again, it doesn't automatically round the corners like it did in the previous version. So that part of this app, I've got to say, is my second favorite. My first favorite, and God, I wish Goodnotes did this. Check this out, you guys. If you hit this text box here, right, and you tap here, do you see these 3 hearts that say A, B, and C right here? You can set 3 default font options. Where is that feature in Goodnotes? So I can say, I want to use this font. And now I want this font. And I'm going to round it out with this font. You guys, that is so everything. Like, I've never seen another app with this option. And dude, can you imagine how much of a time saver that would be? You can set the custom font type, color, and size for 3 separate fonts. And it's like, I was blown away when I saw this feature. I was like, oh, Notability, you're speaking my language, because this is fudging brilliant. I would love for Goodnotes to incorporate a function like this, because that's genius right there. Okay, so one other thing that I noticed that was kind of a weird feature is if you have any size of planner, again, this is just a square because that's how I'm doing my 2021. If I were to take this image and pull it down here, I could stick it down to the very bottom of the page. See, it's touching the bottom. But if you try to go left and right with it, watch, it snaps it out like 1/4 of an inch on both sides. I don't know why it's doing that. I couldn't find like a snap feature, like Procreate has snap features to where I could disable that. I couldn't find it, and I don't fully understand why that's there. I mean, unless you're thinking like if you're going to print something out to bind it, then I could kind of understand because you need that space for either a hole punch, a spiral punch, something like that. But it should be an optional thing. You shouldn't. I mean, that drives me crazy. It's not a deal breaker, but it does make me a little. It's like, okay, I want you here. Be here. Why won't you go there? It doesn't make sense in the strictly digital sense. The only way, like I said, would be if you were to print and bind this thing, which again, it should be optional and it's not. So, okay. Oh, one thing about this app that I did read that is very different from Goodnotes is, and this is more for the, let's call us the forgetful bunch or the mind-changing crowd, as it were. With Goodnotes, when you delete a file, it goes into your trash bin and then you can delete it from there, right? Same concept here. However, Notability auto empties your trash every 30 days. Now, I don't know about y'all, but there have been times when I'm using Goodnotes where I was like, oh, this file was corrupted. Oh, crap. Or, oh, no, I thought I saved this, but it didn't save. And I've been able to go into the trash bin months later and find that file and recover it. Is this the best practice? Absolutely not. And it's not a practice that I normally do. However, I have done it before. But with Notability, you don't have that option. If you forget, after 30 days, the file is gone. On the plus side, it keeps your app much more clean and less on storage. You know what I mean? Less file size. But for the forgetful bunch or the accidental corrupted file bunch, if you don't catch it in 30 days, you're kind of screwed. So I can see pros and cons to that concept. So I'll give them, I'll not call that a con. I'll just call it a be mindful of what you're doing. So another thing that this app does is it lets you do voice notes. Now, I don't know if it's a different note per page, but to me, it looks like it's one note per document. So up here, you have a little microphone thing. If you drop this down, you have the option to play back because I have one sitting there already. And then you can delete it right there. Oh, it's recording right now. Okay, that's enough of that. But you could record notes for that document that you can play back whenever you're in the document. Now, this is something that I see being more beneficial for a student type thing or some kind of professional who's using this app for professional purposes. You're taking notes. You can't, you need to get this out of your head right now so that you can maybe transcribe it later, etc., etc. Digital planning, I don't see it being as useful, but it is a cool feature to have if you want to use it. Let's see. One cool thing that I did learn about this app, you guys, is you know how, and here we go again, in Goodnotes, you have the options to have a Goodnotes file. And if you shop on Etsy or you shop digital planner, standalone websites, typically your purchase comes with a Goodnotes file and your PNG files for apps like Exodo, etc. Well, I learned that Notability has its own file extension. It's .notes, I think. So if you go to these this export thing over here, and you want to, we'll just go to other apps. I'm not going to save this format. You have PDF, Note, Image, and RTF, which is rich text format. That's not going to include handwriting and things like that. But Note is its own format. And I tested this. I pulled in a bunch of stickers. I exported it as a Note file, sent it to my iPad mini, was able to pull it in and have access to the individual content. So I could technically make a Notability sticker book like you can do in Goodnotes, which I thought was a really cool feature because I don't think they used to have it. They might have, not gonna lie. I was pretty green to digital planning apps when I made that video. But knowing what I know now, I'm like, hell yeah, that's really cool. So if you use Notability and you have a friend who uses Notability, you can be like, hey, yo, I just made this kit. I'm gonna send you the notes file. It works just like a Goodnotes file. And it also works like a Goodnotes file in that it is proprietary. You cannot open a notes file in Goodnotes. You cannot open a Goodnotes file in Notability. Same exact concept. Okay, one note about this one. One note. A note about this one, the handwriting to text feature, which is native in the Goodnotes app, is an in-app purchase for this one. It does not come standard with the app, which is also a paid app. I don't know the price of this app because I bought it so long ago. I'm going to look it up though, and I'm going to put it right here. So this will be what it costs right now, 2021 February. But yeah, that is an additional purchase. And then one last thing that I noticed that I thought was pretty unique to the apps that I've tested. Check this out. If you go to this 3 dots right here. No, where is it? Oh, wait, maybe it's here. Oh, yeah. Okay, if you go to your all notes section, there's this little storefront right here. Look at that. They have their own little Notability shop, okay? So you can have a 7-day free trial of their own planner. Now, going back to the copy-paste conundrum of 5 minutes ago, if they are marketing this as a planner option, they need to get their lasso tools straightened out. I think they're just thinking of it as the handwritten planner, not the decorative planner that we all love to do. But if they're trying to market it as such, they really should differentiate. Like, I don't want to copy a sticker and copy the background. That does not make sense. I don't like that. But they do have a 7-day trial of a planner here. I did not purchase it because I don't need another planner, y'all. It is $20. They have math conversions, which is a $3 add-on. So you could handwrite equations and it will convert them into text for you. Pretty cool. They have sticker kits. If you go to themes, you can have all these different themes. Here's your math conversion. Here's your handwrite. Oh, I guess I did buy that. Yay. I want to say it was like $3, just like this one. I didn't test it though, because I really don't use handwriting to text, but I was like, you know what? If I ever wanted to, I'm not good at holding myself off. But then they have these 2 planner sections. They have the portrait, and then they also have a landscape version. Both the same price. Again, I didn't try them out. I don't want to. I can tell just by importing the piece that I did that it's not going to work the way that I would expect it to. And then they have their own little sticker kits, you guys. Super cute, right? This one's like $1. That's so cute. So 2018 Notability versus 2021 Notability, it has gotten so much better. In spite of my bitching about these things that are different or not perfect or blah, 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 compared to where it was, it's like spades above where it used to be. God, seriously, if the lasso thing was figured out, that default text tool and the GIF option, they come really close to selling it for me. Because I was like, when I was testing this, I opened up the app and I was like, okay, let's try it again, see if it's gonna work. It's not gonna work, you know. And I was like, oh no, I like it. I was like, crap. And I'm thinking, dang it, how many Goodnotes files do I have? But no, the lasso tool, it above everything else, that killed it for me. I was like, damn, because everything else is so spot on, you know. It's like, oh, it's so close to being there. But if you're a planner who doesn't use as much stickers, because y'all have seen my spreads, I sticker crazy up in here. But if you don't use as many stickers or embellishments, or if you are just a note-taking person, y'all, this is where it's at. You know, the text tool defaults alone, I'm like, man, I love that concept. Why is it only here? So would I recommend this for digital planners? Certain digital planners I absolutely would, because they have stepped up their game a lot. I did not test their cloud sync option because obviously I don't have a full planner in here to really give it a good test. Anything will work if it's, 60 kilobytes. But I did read in the Reddit forums that their cloud backup service is about on par with Goodnotes. When it works great. When it doesn't work, it sucks. So I'm not going to say that it's a great thing because people are saying that it's really not. So the GIFs, you guys, I love the GIFs. That's just so right there for me. Darn it. But yeah, I would recommend it for planners, definitely. And if I think having worked with Goodnotes for as long as I have, I've gotten used to a lot of its quirks, like the lasso tool to adjust an image will always leave it skewed. You have to use the photo tool to adjust the image. I've gotten used to that bug. So could I get used to the layering features of this one? Could I get used to you have to import something several times to make it work? You know what? While I've got you here, we're going to test one thing. In Goodnotes, when you import an image, you can import the exact same image 6 times and it will always come out a different size. Let's see if Notability has that fault. We'll take this little witch again. We're going to pull her in over here. Whoops. Over here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there she is right there. And then I'm going to try her closer to the edge because that's where Goodnotes makes her smaller. Okay. I'm going to say that the import image option is more intuitive in that all the images come in the same size that they're supposed to. So that would make importing day headers and numbers and things like that easier to do over and over again because you can know what size something's going to come in. With Goodnotes, you pull in 7 day headers. Monday's this big, Tuesday's this big, Wednesday's this big, Thursday's this big. They're all different sizes, and that's really, really frustrating. So I will say that of the two, come on now, Notability's got that one way better than Goodnotes does. And that's actually a really cool feature. And then resizing something, did you see that? Okay. It's trying to line up to this other image. So that would make layering a little easier. See, I'm still learning new stuff about this app. The things that I like about it, I really like. But the things that I don't like are like almost deal breakers. So it's like, damn, I'm not switching because of the lasso situation. I lasso all the time with Goodnotes. But could I learn to live with it if Goodnotes were to just disappear? I think I could. So if you're like one of those people who are like anti-Goodnotes, it did you wrong one time, you got a really sour taste for it, this could definitely be an option, especially if you're willing to learn to work around these limitations. So I've been chatting about this app for 30 freaking minutes now. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go with my blessing if you try this app or if you already use it. Hey, yeah, if you guys already use this and you know how to get around this lasso crap, hit me up in the comments because I would love to know. Because if I can figure that out, Goodnotes might have some competition up in Genna's planner. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like. Consider subscribing. We broke 3,000 subscribers on this channel. I almost said a bad word. All right, guys, I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.